Welcome back inside the studio. Thank you for tuning into the second track of the Michael Spencer Sports Show. With me, as always, Cheston McGuire, broadcasting exclusively with Living on Sports and YouTube. Where else are we now?
Really just Yahoo. Anywhere I can get us, we're there.
We're pretty much all over the place, and we certainly do appreciate you guys listening in. NFL cuts yesterday. Obviously, some hitting home more than others for some of us here at Mizzou. Chase Daniel got cut. Brock Christopher got cut. And Will Franklin had been cut a while back.
Striker Sulak
had been cut a while back. Lorenzo Williams had been cut a while back. But probably the two biggest names I would say who got cut were David Tyree and Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia, I don't really care that much about. Jeff Garcia has never, ever, ever done anything for me. The only thing Jeff Garcia did was become another name in the Terrell Owens quarterback controversy, because he's never won a big game. He's never done anything spectacular. He's never led his team deep into the postseason. He's always been one of those quarterbacks that's been decent, but never really good.
No, he's never been a game changer. I mean, back in San Francisco with T.O., he just put up incredible numbers. You could say it was because of T.O., which could be fair, but he was always an above-average quarterback, and I think Oakland made a big mistake.
See, I don't even see him as above average, and the Raiders making a big mistake. I mean, what's new? But I don't even see him as above average. Like, when I heard that he got cut, I was like, my immediate reaction was, wow, he's still playing?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, he didn't do so great in Tampa last year. Age is getting to him, but I still think he can help a team contribute. I mean, there's a couple teams that he could start for right now. Like, I think Denver should take a serious look at him. Kyle Orton, Chris Sims, Tom Brandstatter. That's not the answer there.
I think if you're I mean, nobody's going to go to the playoffs. Denver's not going to go to the playoffs no matter who their quarterback is.
Right.
I don't see how a team bringing in an aging quarterback would do them any good, because he's probably only going to stay for 1 or 2 years. And, yeah, you can make the argument that you'd want to groom the young quarterbacks and whatever, but if I'm going to groom somebody, I don't really want Jeff Garcia grooming him.
I guess that could be a fair thing to say. I mean, he's never proven himself to be a good leader in that way, but I don't know. Every now and then somebody's surprised. You never would have thought John Kitna 10 years ago could have been able to groom somebody, and then look at Carson Palmer prior to his Pittsburgh injury.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I just think he's an asset to some
maybe
team.
I have a personal vendetta against Jeff Garcia, and I don't know why, but I think maybe I do.
You and T.O., you got to go and put your heads together on that one.
Don't ever compare me to T.O. ever again, please. Except for the fact that we're best friends with Tony Romo. The biggest name, probably, to me at least, getting cut, which was expected. He came out a few weeks ago and said that he most likely thought he was done playing football, was David Tyree, who, of course, a few years ago had that miraculous catch in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, rather, to help the Giants onto victory. You know, that sucks, man. I mean, 2 years ago making a great catch in the Super Bowl, and now you're cut and don't have a team to play for.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he was the hero of the city, and it's a shame, but really the fact of the matter is he was never that good of a receiver.
No, he was never that good of the receiver. That was the one play that he did make.
Right.
And you know, the Giants have a lot of young receivers that they're gonna try and get. But then you look at the Giants, you're like, you just like Plexico Burress,
Amani Toomer,
and now you're gonna cut David Tyree, who's been sort of not a
contributor,
not a great receiver, but he's always been a staple with the Giants. He's always been, you know, a consistent player. And you would think that with a bunch of young wide receivers, granted they still have Steve Smith, but with a bunch of young wide receivers, that maybe they would want to keep him around just for that sake.
It could be, but as I thought about it, it seemed like the Giants had the most amount of wide receivers ever. I mean, last season they had Plax, Amani Toomer, Tyree, Sonoris Moss, Steve Smith. And then, you know, they lost 3 of those, but then they brought in Ramses Barden, Hakeem Nicks, and I'm sure someone else to lose Tyree.
Yeah. You know, and
I just think he became expendable, unfortunately, because Dominique Hickson somehow is their number one, and Hakeem Nicks has done pretty well in preseason, I think.
And the Giants are going to be freaking good. I'm really, really worried sitting here as a Cowboys fan.
See, as a Redskins fan, I'm not that worried of the Giants. Granted, we got swept by them last year.
The Giants are going to be really good.
I don't know. We'll see. I just think that they kind of collapsed down the stretch without Plax, and they don't have that number one guy anymore.
Yeah, but Eli.
Dominic Hickson, the number one. I just don't think he's ready.
I'm scared of Eli.
You think he's better than Peyton?
I'm scared of. No, I don't think he's better than Peyton. I don't think many people are better than Peyton.
No.
I think maybe there's one person better than Peyton, and his name is Tom Brady.
And the argument could be made that.
The argument could be made just the other way. That's exactly right. But I'm scared. Looking at the NFL, the teams that really scare me, the Patriots really don't scare me that much anymore for some reason.
I don't know why. They are looking like a well-oiled machine. Granted, Albert Hainsworth did his best effort to keep Tom Brady off the field.
Right.
With backup Brian Hoyer, undrafted out of Michigan State, leading that team. I think then maybe I'm not so scared, but as long as I got Randy Moss and Tom Brady, that's a fearful team.
I don't know. They just don't. They don't scare me as much as they used to. And I think it probably has something to do with the loss of all their assistant coaches. But they don't scare me as much as they used to. Because if you look at it, granted, the quarterback position is a huge position. They were terrible last year without Tom Brady.
But they still went 10-6, 11-5 without Tom Brady.
They
that tells you how good their supporting
division
cast is. Well, that's because Miami came out of nowhere on that one.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not as scared of the Patriots as probably I should be. I'm scared of the Steelers. I'm scared of the Colts. I'm scared of the Giants. I'm trying to think of a dark horse NFC team. The Falcons don't really scare me that much.
No, they don't have. I mean, Matt Ryan's a great quarterback, much better than I ever thought he would have been.
Sophomore slump.
You think it?
Sophomore slump.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I just don't see it happening. Not when they bring in Tony Gonzalez.
He had such a great rookie year, though. There's only one way for him to go, and that's down.
Well, that's true, but I just think that. I mean, I was not a believer with him coming out of college. I thought the Ravens made a huge mistake drafting him. I thought that was a terrible pick, and he's just continued to prove me wrong every single game. And I've jumped on the Matty Light train.
The Matty Ice train.
Matty Ice, yeah.
I don't know what teams scare you.
Well, Philly, just because of their playmakers, but really, I think what's going to kill them is the end. They don't have a true one receiver. Deshaun Jackson's a slot receiver. Jerry Macklin's a slot receiver. Kevin Curtis, a slot receiver.
Jeremy Macklin's a punt returner.
Well, I'm just saying, those three together all play the same kind of game. You need a possession receiver, not just these crossing routes and burn them deeps. Brian Westbrook's still a really good running back, and LaShawn McCoy's good, and Donovan McNabb's still a great quarterback.
He can't win the big one.
Well,
can't win the big one. I mean, I don't mean to go Rush Limbaugh on anybody, but that's all. That's forever going to be his knack if all he's going to do is get him to the NFC Championship game and then lose.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but he has run into good teams in the NFC Championship before. Unfortunately for him, don't get me wrong. I don't like the Eagles. I don't want the Eagles to win. I don't think
anybody outside the city of Philadelphia likes the Eagles.
I just think they have a really strong defense, an amazing pass defense, and a lot of interesting playmakers that could make them a tricky team to deal with.
What are you thinking of the Cardinals? They obviously had that
they're
good
done.
run. I think so.
I don't think they make it back to the playoffs this year.
No, not even the playoffs.
Nope.
Playoffs.
Seattle Seahawks. Everyone's hating on them, but last year...
No way.
Last year, the only reason they were terrible was who was their wide receivers. They had to trade for, the backups of the backups. And start them with Seneca Wallace at quarterback. Matt Hasselbeck's back healthy with TJ Hushmanzada. They got their defense back, and they brought in Aaron Curry. I just think that's
Not to mention they play in a really, really
that's
weak
the
division.
biggest benefit. I think they can win it at 8-8, 9-7 this year just because Arizona's not that good. They got better from last year, but they're just not that good. They got lucky with their situation.
How funny is the AFC West right now? With
it's abysmal.
The best team is the San Diego Chargers.
I forget who it was. ESPN called the Chargers to win the Super Bowl, which I think is a little bit of a pipe dream.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen.
I think the Chargers are a good team. They're not a Super Bowl team, but obviously
they picked the Chargers to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How are the Chargers going to get through the Patriots, the Steelers? They won't beat the Ravens.
I don't know. Well, Phillip Rivers, everyone is calling Phillip Rivers,
I'm not on the I'm not on the Phillip Rivers bandwagon.
Oh, neither am I. They're calling him just short of Peyton and Tom Brady, which I think is wrong.
Absolutely,
and that's going to be the end of him.
Absolutely not. I think Eli's better than Phillip Rivers is.
I go back and forth on the two.
I think Eli right now takes the cake. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit baseball, and then we'll head out. Short show today, but a good one. Efficient, effective, but condensed. That's how we do it. It's the Michael Spencer Sports Show. We'll be back in just a second.